Oops. I may have made a bit of a clerical error there.
You thought you were going to get rid of me. No.
Well, now I'm here too, so you're stuck with me as well.
Exactly. And more Kaepernick talk.
Who am I anyway? Who are you, Keon?
I mean, I'm Keon Rose.
I'm Russell Stroud.
Good. Let's see if you can somehow not introduce yourself in the middle. I mean, you probably will. There's no getting around it. You will introduce yourself sometime.
It's
randomly.
the running joke now. I kind of have to.
Yeah.
I can't not. Jay, do you want to get on the other mic, by the way, since you're here? Yeah, why not? That mic is way too... Oh, that's perfect, actually.
Oh, look at it. It's the midget mic. It's so exciting.
Janelle is not on television either, by the way. We are screaming. We're screaming as well. We're on YouTube. We're on YouTube right now. On Hot News Talk Radio on YouTube.
I guess we're also on Facebook if you click on the radio plugin on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we're streaming live there too. So we are all over the place on the internets, on the web, the World Wide Web. So kick us into what you want to get into, Keon.
Okay. Well, first I think I should mention that the Mocs are playing today at right now, actually.
The who?
UTC Mocs. They're playing football.
The Mercs?
The football games. And that somehow I got so caught up in talking everything and anything orange that I forgot about that other team that plays around here.
And I had to tell you about it shamefully.
I know I'm very ashamed.
I had to tell you that a football game was on. Like, I don't even keep track of this. I'm the news director.
This is the first time that anyone has told me that a football game was on that I didn't know was on. So that is interesting to me in a lot of ways.
I would just like to point out that I need to support you. That's like the greatest accomplishment of my life.
All right.
You know how I know you know you?
Sure.
It's because I was in my leasing office today and like some Tennessee fans came in wearing Tennessee colors, and one of the ladies was like,
Oh, wait, hold. Technical difficulties. We don't like dead air on the football things.
Oh, well, it looks like I'm not a part.
This is
so
exciting.
Check. It is now.
Wow.
It wasn't plugged in.
It's like an ice cream cone.
I'm also deathly ill, by the way.
Oh, good. We'll try not to get your disease.
Actually, fun story before we get into that. I was in Michigan for a long while, and I got really sick in Michigan, and I'm coming down from it now, along with a lot of other drugs I'm coming down from.
Drink the water.
Actually, yeah, lake water. And my sister and I did this joke where I would cough, like horribly, like lungs coming out of my nose. And my sister would go, "You shouldn't have gone to South America, Russ." And I was like, "I know, I got this stupid Zika virus." And we would do that like in a crowd. And we could like see the crowd go away from us. This was great at all the parks we went to.
Oh, man.
I just go, I shouldn't have gone to South America. And Emily goes, "Yeah, well, you got the Zika virus." And like at the national parks and stuff, everyone just like sort of drift away. So we had like the whole of the Great Lakes to ourselves that whole vacation. It was awesome.
Isn't that interesting though about what the media does with a lot of these diseases? You hear stories about them and then it's terrible and we're all going to die, and then something happens and we just forget.
Yeah.
Like Ebola was huge, and then all of a sudden we just forgot that Ebola existed.
Remember H1N1?
Correct. Bird flu.
MRSA.
Swine flu.
That's still a thing.
SARS
is a big deal still.
I remember when I was a kid, mad cow disease was a gigantic problem.
Oh, that was the
like we're not going to eat beef.
That was the disease of our childhood.
Yeah,
it's so old school. It was on The Simpsons at one point. Like they joked about it on The Simpsons.
And then
Donald Trump was also on The Simpsons for president.
That's true. He was on before he was president. Oh, you mean the thing where they
predicted he was going to be president?
This is a prophetic entity.
Oh, they predicted 9/11 too, so they got a lot going for them.
Hey, the Illuminati must work for The Simpsons.
Well, the Illuminati's in The Simpsons in one of the episodes. The rock cutter thing. The Masons.
I forgot about that one. Actually.
Yeah, I just watched it the other day. It's the only reason I remember. Mr. Burns is like all of Homer's friends are in this like secret society, and he's the only one who's not. And he's so bad at it, he gets kicked out.
Oh, that's
Spoiler
hilarious.
alert! Spoiler alert! Homer's bad at it.
No. That episode is old enough that you don't need a spoiler alert.
Like older than I am. So
correct. I have a rule, by the way, and so this is just to be warned if you are listening to anything that I have ever broadcasted. If something has been out for 5 years, I don't owe you a spoiler alert.
Even like
Avatar.
there's no spoiler in Avatar, is there?
They don't exactly live happily ever after.
It's an allegory for Wounded Knee or something. Like,
Pocahontas reincarnated.
yeah, like I say, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think you're right though. Spoilers past 5 years.
Like
you
after
should've
5
seen it.
years, like if someone's like, oh no, I haven't seen Lost, don't spoil it for me.
Yeah,
The show ended in 2010. Like come on.
the show ended when I was in high school. Like, come on, guys.
Right. Like you don't get spoiler alerts anymore.
You don't. Well, I mean, even in the modern era, like the spoilers, they're all in the trailers now. It's like,
That's true.
it's like, man, I can't believe in the Born Identity he gets away at the end. You know, like,
Right.
Watch the movie to find out how the spoiler became true.
right? It's like Jeopardy, you know, where they give you the answer and you have to give the question. That's how modern movies are. It's like at the end of this movie, Jason Bourne gets away, and you're like, oh, the Born Identity. I have to go watch it now.
There you go. That's actually like literally what happened.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it, but I didn't need to. I've seen the Born Identity.
But guess what?
Seen
He's
the new
still not sure about his identity.
Oh, he's not David Webb?
I mean, he is, but he isn't sure what the whole
There are ramifications to this.
ramifications is our new word for
To him being David Webb.
Was that on your word of the month calendar?
So.
Ramifications.
It was my current SAT.
It's actually my screensaver. My screensaver gives me just random words.
I've noticed that, and some of them I don't know, so it's a pretty impressive screensaver.
Yeah, I think so.
So
By the way,
mocks.
random sports update, because now that's happening in this show.
Yeah, please do.
The Mocks ahead of the shorter Hawks,
Can we
which is
give
that is
that?
just a hilarious.
Can we give that information, Keon? Because we're not, we're not.
Can I not?
Spoiler alert.
I don't know.
Because I also remember, because we are the station that has the Super Bowl
Right.
here in Chattanooga on
No
the
one
air,
else can talk about it.
but people were talking about it.
I mean, like, we don't enforce it because whatever, but they might because they're jerks.
Possibly. How much money could you be losing
Are
from
you
somebody?
allowed to talk about at least the scores? The scores are public knowledge, are they not?
No, like the scores are like held by the agent. It's like that's hard to explain.
Yeah,
Okay, I follow.
the license for the person with the name.
Right. Like the newsworthiness of the Mocks playing, we can talk about, but like live updates on the score, I don't think we can. But if they win, which I think they will, if they win, like we can talk about that. So like by the end of the show, maybe we'll know if they win or not.
Okay, well,
So we were
probably
joking
not by the end
about
of the show
your
because
live-
football games take forever.
They're
But
not like basketball games where it's like
they're very long.
you can eat a sandwich and it's over by the time you're done.
No mock spoilers.
No spoiler alerts for the Mocks.
There you go.
I guess you shouldn't give spoilers for like a movie premiere, so we won't for the Mocks either.
for Mogs football. But that is interesting because so there is some station that has the Vols on.
Yeah.
And everybody talks about them.
I think it's just sort of like a coolness factor where it's like, you can't, but whatever.
Interesting. Okay.
And,
well,
like worst case scenario, our EPB service gets cut off because they're in like the EPB studio and all that sort of thing.
correct. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's not risk it.
But I can tell you that the game started at 7. But the interesting thing is 7 our time, like a few minutes ago, 15, 16 minutes ago. But we were reading this earlier. Parking lots opened at Finley Stadium at 8 a.m.
So in case today you woke up and had just nothing to do.
I'm still doing the news then.
Right.
Like that's very early in the morning.
You could have started tailgating today. Like shown up at Finley Stadium with your truck and your grill and your beer
I
cooler.
don't have any of those things.
Well,
I have beer in
neither
the
do I.
cooler.
We're not exactly tailgaters. I'm a sports fan, and I'm not a tailgater. You know what I like?
You're right.
Watching the game on TV.
Yeah. I would do
it's
like a
nice.
sit-in tailgate. Like I sit in my house and drink beer and watch the game. A sit-in tailgate.
That is a thing. People do that.
Speaking of sit-ins, yeah. Sit-ins.
Sit-ins. Colin Kaepernick,
Who?
the transition of the man that was once looking like he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and now the thing he is most known for is not at all football, but social activism, which I think is interesting, if only because you are using your knowledge or you're using your platform to try and push this idea, and because you are not considered a great quarterback anymore, your platform is dwindling as you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of like other greats. Like, did we know what Michael Jordan thought of politics when
No.
he was a good?
Michael Jordan recently has done stuff like this year. Michael Jordan was very much about, I don't want to offend anybody because it might hurt my brand.
Yeah,
I'm not doing this.
Well, and he's a role model for kids, and I'm not sure if like what Colin Kaepernick did is necessarily like, oh, the kids can't like him anymore. But like, if you're a role model for kids, you don't want to do risky political stuff. You know what I mean?
My thing is, he obviously wasn't prepared to have the discussion. And to me, that takes away from whatever credibility he could have had to be any type of Gandhi or whatever. Maybe not
or
more like a Hitler, maybe.
Or the athletes of the past, where you had Jackie Robinson and Muhammad Ali and a lot of great socially vocal athletes.
Well, for them,
Jim Brown.
I think for them, though, a lot of their significance was their very existence and the fact that they were vocal. And I think maybe the time for that is almost past. Where like, you can be anyone you freaking want to be, and you can say whatever you want. So it's not that he is political. It's that he's using this platform, I think, that's making people upset. And he's, to a lot of people's perspective, Colin Cowherd was talking about this, to a lot of people's perspective, he's being disrespectful to troops. I don't know if that's his intent.
I don't think so either. And I think a lot of veterans have come out on Twitter and said that we support him, or at least we don't think that he's against us.
Right. And I don't think he is. But
he's speaking, like you said, in this day and age, anyone can be anything. But with that, with the benefit of being able to be whatever, is the risk of knowing that you can't just say whatever.
Right.
And I think, in a way, he's really just putting himself out there without the research, without the knowledge. I mean, there are other political individuals who others criticize for being loose cannons, and that supposedly doesn't speak well of them. Knowing that is some of the conversation even that's happening now about people speaking out politically. If I were him, I would want to be sure that before I put my nose in the fire, I would have had some sort of plan. This is where you'd get a PR agent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think I think the big problem for Kaepernick is that, and I agree, I think he's just chosen like the wrong time and place, and the way he's doing it, like, it's not the message, it's the delivery system. Like,
I don't even have a problem with the delivery system, because I think Carmelo Anthony is a guy that I respect a lot for what he says socially.
Sure.
Because he is when you hear him, he's very well spoken and very well read. He's not just trying to get attention. But Carmelo Anthony has protested. He's organized marches.
Yeah.
And nobody cares.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think negatively Carmelo Anthony. I don't think many people do.
I think if Carmelo really can't do what Colin did, because the NBA is very much more strict about that. Like, if you don't stand during the national anthem, we're going to suspend you, and you're going to be suspended without pay.
It's part of the corporate image.
Right. The
like,
NFL doesn't suspend you for that.
I couldn't wear like Hot News Talk Radio Sucks t-shirts. It wouldn't fly.
No. And I think your employer has every right to voice their opinion. I think I think Colin is fine in what he did, because people are going to react, which is what he wanted. It's everything that happened afterwards, where he started talking and you were like, this guy doesn't know anything that he's talking about. He's out here, he's talking about how black people are oppressed, but he's wearing a Fidel Castro t-shirt. He's wearing police pig socks, where it's like little piggies with police hats. Yeah. And you're like, okay, you started a conversation, but now be ready to have it. And we can't have the conversation because you're just being ridiculous.
And I think my big thing, and what you said just clicked it in my head for me. A lot of political change has to come with mutual respect. And I don't get that with Kaepernick. Like with Martin Luther King, there was a lot of mutual respect going on from him. Like, he's not saying like, look, I want to hurt you guys. He's saying, look, I want to be with you guys. And to sort of summarize it,
I think that's why MLK's efforts are more memorable and went, I think, ultimately a longer way than Malcolm X's.
Yeah.
Malcolm X was violent. And he said, if you are going to come after me violently, I'm going to go back. And I think the respect comes from, I don't have to come back at you violently because I'm actually right.
Right.
And getting people to respect you, I think nonviolence goes a long way towards that. And retaliating with your words, going after the police and saying, he's not even saying that all police are bad.
No, I don't think
but
that's
his
the narrative.
actions are saying that. When you wear pig socks with police hats, like that's you can explain it however you want to explain it. That's not what that says.
Right.
It just isn't.
Especially with like he could wear that without the whole political thing, and you just think, oh, it's a joke, whatever.
Right.
He can make jokes if he wants to, but he does that while talking about police brutality. You kind of have that like, oh, he must hate cops, because that's the natural conclusion. Like, he thinks cops are pigs.
Like the context changes there. Like because they okay, so you have laws, right? Like when somebody tries to sue you for slander or libel, one of the things taken into consideration is whether or not that person is a public figure.
Right.
When you choose to be a socially active figure, all of the things that you say and do start to go underneath this microscope. And he's not aware enough to be under that microscope, to the point where I think he's hindering the conversation that other people are trying to have.
He lacks the savvy necessary.
Right.
Correct. I think that's the best way to say that.
I'm just sort of extrapolating in my head what you're saying and funneling it down.
Yeah. I say it, I take the 20-minute version, and then you're like, oh, here are the cliff notes.
Here's the sound bite, because my job is sound bites, I guess.
But yeah, he is not self-aware enough to do this.
No. But here's the thing, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, although I will say I really feel uncomfortable comparing Colin Kaepernick to any of these revolutionary leaders.
No, I agree.
Like, there's no comparison. The intentions aren't the same. There might be a similar conversation, but they are not related.
Well, we're not putting them on the same platform. We're comparing it'd be like comparing apples and oranges to me. They're all fruits, but they're not. They're completely different.
Yeah. And I think Colin Kaepernick is more. It's more of a social thing. It's more of a Kardashian.
It's like I'm the cool kid who's going to say political stuff.
Oh, Tim Tebow.
It's like if you were to take your Twinstagram, like Twitter and Instagram together, and like
in the blogosphere.
Yeah.
Oh.
You
buzzwords.
You know, BuzzFeed. And if you were to do all of that and put it out, you would get Colin Kaepernick poster child for how people are learning things now.
It does seem like,
what I mean?
I get that vibe. I get what you're saying, because it seems like Kaepernick like looked up like hashtag police brutality on Instagram, and he's like, oh shoot, I gotta talk about that. It's like, which is cool. There's no context though for him. Like he doesn't. Like maybe he does, and I'm missing it. But it doesn't seem like he gets the big issue. You know what I mean?
Right. I think he's just outraged, because I think a lot of black people are outraged about this. Where it's just like, no, I don't like the idea that I'm driving around and going, if I get pulled over by the police, I don't know if I've run into the one wrong cop that I shouldn't run into this time. That's something that's something you can empathize with, but it becomes a problem with him where he is just, it's not even like he thought that far.
Yeah. Right.
It's him and his boys sat around one day and were like, we're mad about this, man. And then he did that.
You're a quarterback. Do something.
He's saying, I think I see how he's seeing it. From what you said, he's not seeing it as that cop. He's seeing it as the cops. You're saying like I know you don't hate the cops, but there's a fear of that one guy who's going to be the one who's going to get you in trouble. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not them. It's that one. And he's missing that bit of it, I think, in his argument.
I feel like he tried to say that.
Yeah.
My thing is, and Kaepernick, if you're listening, like, this is free advice. I really should charge you some of the $1.7 million that you made just because you could throw a ball.
We love you, man.
Godspeed. But what I would say, homie, hire a PR agent. I know some good ones. All right. I know some. Chris Reedus, if you're out there, like, this is your time, man. Like, this is your chance to rise and shine. Like, this is the point where you hire those people who went to school for Olivia Pope, even though she doesn't really exist. Shonda Rhimes has some great connections. You can reach out to her. Scandal, if you don't really know where that is.
Yeah, you just lost. You lost the two of us in the room, which is now we know
a feat in and of itself
how our audience feels all the time.
This is what I'm saying. Like, dude, there are options out there. Just Google PR representation. There are people out there to help you fix this. Okay, I would love to be one of those people, but I can't. So again,
but Jay, he don't have no representation. Don't you get it? That's part of the issue.
That's part of the problem.
But this is a taxing issue.
Which, in fairness,
without representation should be illegal.
We have the Vols kicking off any second now, so that's happening. If you ever want to tune into that, and somehow you're not already watching the mocks, which shame on you if you're not.
Wait, why am I cheering? I'm a Georgia fan.
yeah, no, you can't cheer for that. But this is Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. Clutch, no, not Clutch. Two Millennials Talk. I see the song triggered something else in my head. Oh, bad habits die hard. But we're not going to be talking about Colin Kaepernick anymore, though. He should focus on beating Blaine Gabbert and getting starting job in Tennessee. Anyway, we're going to be talking about more stuff in the news that we think is important next.
Wars come and go, but my soldiers stay eternal.
Now you can listen to Hot News Talk Radio anywhere, streaming live at Noogaradio.com. That's Noogaradio.com.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Hi, this is Mike at Wholesale Liquidation, Highway 58, next to Taco Bell, featuring over 6,000 square feet of unique and everyday wholesale items, discounted at, get this, 50 to 75% off of retail, from new and pre-owned tools to chainsaws and auto accessories. Wholesale Liquidation, Highway 58, next to Taco Bell.
Rumble in today to Diesel Off-Road Tech for a free diesel engine diagnostic to see what's holding you back. Your 4x4 is gasping like an old lady. It's hesitating. How can you possibly be the man you want to be? Diesel Off-Road is ready for you. 8 bays, 8 techs, plug in, get the $100 diagnostic of your major machine now. A bumper-to-bumper analysis with factory software tools. Free if you mention Cowherd or Hannity. Absolutely no charge. Want to bring a new look or better mileage to your truck or 4x4 off-road vehicle? Diesel Off-Road in Soddy Daisy is the four-wheel specialist. Lift kits, customizing, all wheels, all tires, performance boosts, repair. Call 805-2800. Diesel's mechanics and techs have 100 years combined experience making engines roar and exteriors sparkle. DieselOffroadTech.com. Call 805-2800.
This is Mike at For the Record at Northgate Mall. We're the largest complete record store in town. We sell old and new vinyl records, celebrity posters, music posters, and we are the largest in town. Come see us.
Expect partly cloudy skies through the nighttime. Overnight lows 68 to 70. For Friday, a few high clouds will pass through, becoming breezy but less humid, highs mid and upper 80s with more sunshine. Very nice weather for the Labor Day holiday weekend. Highs 88 to 90, lows lower to middle 60s. If you're human, chances are you love cheese, but chances are you've never had a burrito wrapped around melted cheese. It's the best thing since sliced cheese. New cheesy core burritos only at Taco Bell. And I'm Sports 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr on AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world. Hot News Talk 1240.
Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio with your Hot News Now update. A SWAT standoff on Nautical Way led to 2 people arrested after a 3-hour standoff with police. A SWAT team was called out to assist in removing the suspect from inside of the home. At the end, 2 suspects were arrested. Happened at 11 o'clock p.m. Wednesday night. And the mayor's announced he's accepted a large federal grant called Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response, or SAFER. It's going to be allowing for the addition of 14 new positions at the Chattanooga Fire Department. The Reed House downtown has been purchased and is expected to be renovated back to its former turn-of-the-century glory. All 242 guest rooms are going to be completely renovated, along with public areas to its original grandeur. And ballrooms and restaurants will also be renovated as well. Chattanooga Mocs kicking off the game tonight at 7 o'clock. They're set to play again shorter. A number of new student initiatives have been released as well. Shuttles will be provided by CARTA. There's also more free student parking along with other benefits for students. If it's going on in the Tennessee Valley, it's going on Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's got third. He's going for second. Earnhardt going for the lead.
The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is on the Motor Racing Network. Hot News Talk 1240. Hear it live on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Check it out live on Chattanooga's official NASCAR radio station.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Well, we're on then.
You drive me nuts when you do that.
Why?
Okay, Keon does this thing. That's Keon. I'm Russell Stroud. Keon does it, and Jay is here as well. Sorry, go ahead. No, introduce yourself. Hello. So, Keon does this thing where his intro plays, and for non-radio people, that's the music you were just hearing. His intro plays. He waits like a minute to hit the on button.
Okay, it's a 30-second intro, so there's no way I can wait for a minute.
You have before, I'm sure.
I know.
30 seconds of silence.
I have not.
No, 34 seconds because there's a 4-second bumper. No time.
I have grown up listening to people in sports talk radio, and nobody starts right when the music comes on.
They should.
You give it like 15 seconds. Let it breathe. Let it build suspense. And then you come in and they're like, where is he? Where is he? Oh, there he is. It's like playing peekaboo with a small child.
No. Are you calling our audience as small children?
I may have.
Everybody,
conversation happening.
I'm telling you right now, don't listen as much to Keon Rose anymore. He hates you.
I don't hate you.
He condescends to his audience.
I
think you're all
only
smart.
condescend somewhat.
I think you're at least high schoolers.
All the time. Plebeian.
Bunch of plebs, bunch of normies listening.
I know.
So, Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. What are the details on this Chris Brown story?
Chris Brown. He's been arrested, charged with assault with a deadly weapon, according to Fox News Entertainment. Of course, we are a Fox News affiliate, although we are not owned in any part by News Corp. Chris Brown was arrested on Tuesday on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon after an hours-long standoff with police who responded to a woman's call for help at his Los Angeles home. Police Lieutenant Chris Ramirez, a spokesperson for the LA Police Department, said police were transporting him from his home to downtown police headquarters, where he could be formally booked. An armed standoff with Chris Brown. An armed standoff with Chris Brown.
I would not have guessed that. Of all the musical artists out there to have...
Wait. We should make a list of the artists that we think would happen before Chris Brown. T.I.
Michael Jackson. That's probably the wrong one.
That would be the wrong one.
Really? No.
Tupac.
He's dead already. He's dead.
He's also dead.
Michael Jackson.
Oh, man. Oh. We're bringing up a lot of really old wounds.
Suge Knight. I would expect Suge Knight to get in a stand-up.
That's true. It would happen.
Yeah.
Who else would get in a standoff with the police? Like who?
Like I could see, what's his name? The guy. Hey, it's me. I'm a rapper and I skateboard. I've got tattoos on my face.
Lil Wayne.
I could see Lil Wayne.
Betty Wap.
I couldn't remember his name. Like I could see Lil Wayne getting in a standoff with police where he just gets like high off his mind with bath salts.
On a codeine syrup induced high.
Scissor and he's like,
I'm with the police.
Purple drank
up in it.
I gotta stand
up in the club.
I like this Lil Wayne impression.
Get it.
Scissor and police. That's his new hit single.
Scissor and Glocks. Part of a complete breakfast.
45 minutes with my 45.
Ooh.
Before I get taken off with my Glock.
Hours long with my shotgun.
Yes.
Oh boy.
And then some illicit sex.
But Chris Brown's an R&B singer.
What? Oh yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
He looks like a thug though. Why?
That's a more recent development. He didn't always look like that.
Like,
and then somewhere along the way,
I look at him and I think like 90s Atlanta gangster rapper. I don't think R&B.
It's the neck tattoos.
I think
it's
more.
Because Rihanna broke his heart and he got wrapped up with Bieber.
Well, he deserved it.
I mean, yeah.
I think he deserves everything he gets.
With all the bad stuff, anyway.
Yeah,
I deserve his money.
Not the money. Yeah, we
he doesn't deserve it.
Can we get his bail money, please? It's like $1 million. So,
right.
Actually, you only have to pay 10% of your bail, by the way, to get out.
Which is what? There was
$100,000.
That's only $100,000.
That's not bad. What's 100,000 divided by 3?
Less than 100,000.
Oh, shoot, never mind. I don't want it that bad.
Yeah, I'm looking. You just said numbers, and I was like, oh no. I
That's
don't.
as far as my math knowledge goes.
No, nobody wanted me to deal with any of that. But I remember Bobby Shmurda got
Bobby Smegma.
Shmurda, because it sounds vaguely like murder, and he did murder somebody because he put it in his rap music, and it matched it up with actual murders.
Oh, he's the guy who did the rap album from jail. Like he called in from like the jail telephone and did that rap album.
I think that was him. Yeah,
he was something. I listened to his album. It was actually pretty good. But
when they set the bail, they set it at it was like almost $15 million. It was something to where you could not easily come up with the bail money because the judge was like, no, you're not leaving.
Right.
And he dropped to his knees in court because he was hoping to at least, make bail
right,
and be able to walk around for a little bit in freedom,
record an album, and then go to jail.
And then go to jail.
Right.
A legend or something, or maybe
released to like a ton of royalty money, but no.
Have one last burger or something, but no. No, he went back to jail.
He could kill the witness first and then go to jail.
Right.
Go to jail.
Or like 50 Cent, who was like, yo, I don't even have 50 cents to my name.
50 Cent has a video game called 50 Cent Blood in the Sand.
This is a real thing?
Yeah.
Real PlayStation 2 game.
What does this earth come to?
I played it.
Really?
You
might be the only one.
It's not a horrible game.
Really?
Like, I thought it would be like this poorly designed game.
Right.
No. Like, it's not good by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought it was just going to be horrible, and it's not.
Well, have you played Eazy-E's game?
No.
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It's really good.
I was like, they made an Eazy-E game. Have I never heard of
it would be like on the Sega Genesis.
Atari. Come on. Take it back.
Atari Jaguar, maybe. He died in the mid-90s, so. He was like a rapper in the 90s, so it would be Genesis or Super Nintendo at that point.
That's true.
You see that box art mock-up? It was like Frasier for Super Nintendo. Like, I love Frasier. I would play that game 100 times.
What would a Frasier game play like?
My sister and I were talking about this. We think it would be their dad trying to like dodge Eddie. And if like Eddie the dog hits you, like your cane flies away and he breaks his hip or something. Consarn it, I'm old. My chair. I don't know what he would say.
I don't remember what he would say.
Soundbite, guys,
I used to be a cop.
Insert clapping noises.
No comment. That's a soundbite.
I'm Russell Stroud.
No, you're not. I am.
No, you are. I didn't know what to say.
Keanu Rose.
I panicked.
I'm Janelle. Yeah.
That's the soundbite.
The last name struggles. Continue.
I don't remember mine.
I hear you.
I always say the French version for some reason now.
Estrade.
Il Estrade. It's real.
Estrude.
Justine Trudeau is my real name.
Oh.
I'm
well
the
then.
Prime Minister of Canada. Kind of weird fact. Police Lieutenant Chris Ramirez, a spokesperson, said that police were transporting Chris Brown from his home to downtown police headquarters to be formally booked. Earlier, Ramirez told reporters that several people were escorted from the residence after a search warrant was served. Police said the woman who made the call for help, of course, at about 3 a.m. was not inside the Hilltop Estate in the San Fernando Valley. Ramirez did not identify the woman or elaborate on the assistance which she needed. He did not know if she was injured. So there you go. Fox 411, which is their local station in L.A., said the LAPD, no shots fired. Right now, that's all we have. So no shots were fired, but I guess they knew Chris Brown's a gun owner or something, or they warned him that Chris Brown was a gun owner or something. So it's one of those things.
Gotcha.
I mean, as long as he declared that he had a permit first, I guess he didn't get shot.
Do you need a permit in California? Well, yeah, of course you do. It's California. You need a permit for everything.
Oh, boy.
In Georgia, you don't. You can, like, seriously, in Georgia, you can walk in, and I don't think this is a bad thing. You can walk into, like, any gun store as long as you're over 21 and don't have any criminal record, like, no felonies. You can walk in and be like, hey, can I get a handgun? They're like, yeah, sure. It's cash, and there you go. Like, it's just how it is down here. And no one thinks anything of it.
And you stand a fair chance of being caught if you use that gun for criminal activity.
Right, because there's, like, serial numbers.
Yes, it's all registered. Which is, that would be the thing. And if you did use it for criminal activity, you would never use a gun again in Georgia. You would never be allowed to use one. I mean, it's not like it's a completely, you just walk in and I got a gun, I can do whatever I want.
Right.
There are.
Well, there's no registry in Georgia, by the way. There is no handgun or long gun registry in Georgia.
No.
So it's all just physical evidence.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, people still get caught. It's not like, we can't catch them because there's no registry.
There's no registry. How will we ever catch them?
I wish DNA and fingerprints were a thing.
So the in the TV studio, we had a video there showing on Fox News on the TV. Mm-hmm. SpaceX rocket.
Yeah.
Blew up on the launch pad.
Yeah. We were talking about that. Janelle and I were talking about that while you were on Clutch, and it quickly evolved into a conversation about existentialism. But it was very interesting nonetheless.
Fascinating.
Everything we talk about turns into like
water cooler conversation.
Right. So
we don't have a water cooler.
Sorry, I'm very sick. The space, like the bigger story, I think, than the SpaceX rocket exploding is that Mark Zuckerberg had a satellite on it and it got blown up, and he's not happy about that.
Well, satellites tend to be in the very expensive to really, really expensive range.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be excited about that either.
I think it was like $98 million or something like that the satellite cost.
Boy.
Shoot.
Or Bobby Shmurda.
Right. Barbie Shmurda could be out of jail right now if it weren't for that SpaceX rocket exploding. Oh, well. I actually pulled up the article, and I think I accidentally closed it. Oh, here we go. Mark Zuckerberg, $95 million. He says he's deeply disappointed.
Somehow, okay, so Mark Zuckerberg's face always looks like some degree of deeply disappointed.
That looks like an image macro, just like his face and the words like deeply disappointed.
Deeply disappointed.
It's like absolutely disgusting, you know? It's like
right.
Deeply disappointed. It was a Falcon 9 rocket. They felt the explosion from miles away, though.
Oh, wow.
Because we're talking about solid oxygen that blows up.
Right.
I mean, there's more oxygen in that rocket than like the whole state of Florida. So like it just blew up. And that's kind of not a good thing. Because they felt that explosion for a while.
Live breaking news, side note, a dog chased bears out of someone's yard and a large alligator was caught. Why is the wildlife coming to civilization?
Florida.
Which is also about to be in...
rocked with a hurricane.
Hermione, is that it?
No, it's not Hermione. It's Hermine? Hermine. Something like that. Hermine?
Is it what gender is Hermine?
It's female.
It's female?
Yeah, we're on
every
female.
other, it's like a rotation.
Yeah, it's a female one. There was a Hurricane Erin. That's my mom's name. There was a Hurricane Erin when she was in high school. She never heard the end of that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
No, that's unfortunate if there's a hurricane with your name.
Like a cyclone. Is that too much of a millennial reference?
What? I didn't get it.
Really? You don't?
Yeah.
That's a song from the 2000s, a rap song about.
I didn't listen to a lot of 2000s rap. I was more in the 80s and 90s, but
then I hear that
because like after the 2000s, it got to be too.
Baby back.
Who?
One hit wonder. Like that's the thing about 2000s rap, especially the stuff that was on the radio.
Yeah.
You heard a song from a person and you just never heard from that person ever again.
Right. Like you had Nas and like Outkast, and that's it as far as like recognizable names for me.
Mm-hmm. That's basically it. Like,
yeah.
I just read the lyrics of the song, and while this would be a great one for What's His Face to read in the dramatic, poetic fashion, what's his name? The older gentleman who was reading rap lyrics in...
Oh, he's dead.
He's dead?
Yes, that was the guy who played Saruman, and he is dead.
When did he die?
So I did hear one that like Bryan Cranston read like a year or two ago.
Christopher Lee, he's dead. Anyway, so Mark Zuckerberg came out with a statement saying, "As I'm here in Africa," that's like brownie points,
right? Like everything billionaire to say,
right? That's like if I said, "As I am here in South Central Los Angeles teaching children to read," I'm deeply disappointed to hear that SpaceX launch failure destroyed our satellite that would have provided connectivity to so many entrepreneurs and everyone else across the continent. Fortunately, we've developed other technologies like Aquila that will connect people as well, blah, blah, blah. We remain committed to internet for everybody.
So
I still think it's strange that we were just handing out, again, movies like The Kingsman. It's like, look, here's free something for everyone.
Well, it's not free. I mean, they have to pay for the smartphones and stuff.
I apologize. Opportunity cost.
Right.
But
I'd like to know what they're going to do with the internet. Like, I can't imagine the internet's going to make the Congo that much better.
I don't think so.
Like Zambia is dramatically improved now that there is access to Facebook.
Correct.
Google.
Now they're just going to organize like raids with Facebook. Like ISIS does it, you know, like Boko Haram's like, finally we have Facebook.
I mean, they tweet. ISIS is very prolific on Twitter, and it's not like bots. It's actual people that they have dedicated to Twitter.
Right. With
these really convincing Twitter campaigns.
Yes.
That work, and they recruit people from Europe to go back and join ISIS, and you're just like, why would you? To me, I almost want to know, because I've never read any of their tweets because I don't want to end up on a watch list somewhere.
Well, I've read them, and I'm already on watch list.
Well, there you go. So I'll read it on your computer since you're already there. But like, what is it that they're saying that's just so convincing that you're looking at their tweets and going, oh, you know what? I never considered that before. I'm actually going to go back and support ISIS and see what it is I can do to help them and their cause to help us do whatever it is that ISIS is doing. Like, I just, what is it that they're saying that's just that convincing? Like, I've never...
They're playing on, like, the white guilt thing, I think, where it's like, Europe has destroyed the Middle East with their stupid borders.
Oh.
Come help us. And they're like, oh, you're right. I feel guilty about that. Better go fight for ISIS. And then they change, like, the overlay on their Facebook profile pictures, the ISIS flag. Their next, like, their last update. Like,
that's crazy.
Heading to Syria, YOLO.
There's... Lol. Well, you know what? That does make some sense, I guess. But it's
just arriving at the Ankara airport, just like a selfie.
Peace sign emoji.
They got the one finger up. They're just arriving at the Ankara airport.
Right. Let's go. You stuff. I was gonna say a bunch of things. I don't want to be on the watch.
Beheadings.
Yeah, I like bombing.
Bombing a different.
Don't say anything specific, and you should be fine.
Okay, first of all.
Well, first off, don't say anything specific, and then it shouldn't actually. Oh, see.
Like Fox News is happening behind us while we're doing this thing, and there is a news reporter who is angered. He's doing that stance that you do in the bus when you're taking the subway, but don't want to sit because there's no room, but you don't want to hold on to the handrails.
He's doing the stance where you're peeing and you don't want other people to know.
That same stance.
Yeah.
And it is because he is reporting about the storm while wearing a jacket and pants directly in the storm.
That man can pee wherever he wants.
He can.
Also, I think MC Hammer was one of his fashion icons.
It's like when you go to a public pool or like a lake.
This is going too far.
Just go wherever you want, man. You can.
I mean,
it's America.
Colin
Kaepernick doesn't have to stand for the national anthem. You can go wherever, man.
And say whatever because information is irrelevant. Bring in.
But I have
Instagram.
I have a question about these reporters because I've always wondered, like in sports, the sideline reporter is on the sideline. They've talked to the coaches or whatever, and then you cut down to them and they say whatever it is they're going to say. And I've always wondered, what is the point of view? Could you not send that information back up to the broadcast booth without being? We don't need a shot of you on the sideline. This is the same thing to me. You're out literally in the storm. Your waves are crashing against your back. Rain is hitting your face. Could you not do that from inside a building at the location of the storm?
It's all psychological because if you see a human there, you can put yourself there.
Could you not? Could there not be a really convincing window nearby?
Just put a little GoPro
that would be
attached
lying.
to like a tree or something.
As he speaks, cut to B-roll of the waves and everything else. Like, do you actually need to be out there in the storm?
I think, like,
what extra information are you getting from actually standing out there that you could not have just gathered and then gone back to a building?
Again, it's like the human connection where it's like, man, look at that guy getting hit with waves.
No.
Must be pretty bad.
He looks miserable. Getting paid by the minute.
Yeah.
Because that's the only reason I'd be standing there.
I'll say if I had the opportunity to be like a weather reporter and stand out in Cedar Key, Florida at 7:51 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I would do it. I would actually
getting paid like $1 million a minute.
Yeah, honestly, they're like, oh man, insurance is going to hate this, but all right.
I guess.
Darn you, Blue Cross Blue Shield.
I need to figure out exactly what the number is
comprehensive
that you would have to pay me to make that a thing. But
Primerica.
Oh boy.
I just took out a policy.
What's the lowest car insurance you can get? I can't remember what coverage is that.
It's low.
Yeah, it's like incidental, like fender bender
coverage.
Oh,
nope. Popped into my head and then left.
I know. I keep having that happen, but that's like what he has with life insurance, and he's really nervous.
Right.
He's like, shoot, I'm only charged for like small scratches.
Like liability or
I'm only
yes. I said it the other day, and I don't know why I couldn't remember.
He's only got liability insurance. None of us have insurance except for our parents.
Well,
we're on our parents' insurance. Woo.
I can't be on my parents' insurance anymore.
Oh yeah, I can.
In 4 days, I'm no longer a millennial by definition.
No, because
you would still be a millennial.
No, you're born in the right era.
I was.
Yeah, you're born like after the 80s. And,
I was.
Yeah.
Because I remember being a kid in church, and one of the sermons that our pastor had was, how do we reach Generation X, which was the people in their 19s and 20s at that time.
Yeah, now they've all got kids.
Right. And I was just like, is that going to be the thing? Like, do we have to come up with a word for every generation?
Yes.
and just, hey, you know what?
It's
This
labeling. We love
is the word that describes all of you.
You are all this.
And these are all your characteristics. Like Generation X, they like spiky hair and piercings, and you're just like,
And
but
Papa
that's
Roach.
and
Cut my life in 2 pieces.
this is my last resort.
Suffocation.
I refuse to be part of this.
That's their life is that
Ooh,
and impromptu backyard wrestling matches.
I forgot about all of that stuff.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Yeah.
I know. And
Skateboarding in high school.
not Mountain Dew, but Mellow Yellow.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mellow Yellow and like the end of the Surge era.
Right.
Yes.
Generation X had a lot.
Kablam.
Yeah.
That was
Oh yeah,
the stuff.
cartoons. They had way more fun back then than we do.
They did.
Like we had crappy cartoons growing up.
And just
Hey Arthur. Hey Arnold.
Hey,
oh
Arnold.
yeah, you combine 2 good cartoons.
That's true. Yeah.
Arthur and Hey Arnold.
Have you seen Arthur today? It's awful. It's like flash animation, and the voice actors are like little kids. Arthur sounds like a little girl.
No, it's
I
probably-
that's unfortunate.
No, I'm sorry. Young man, I support your growth, and when you get to a certain point in your life, you won't sound like
Can I finish this up
That's
briefly
terrible.
with
I'm
an
so sorry.
anecdote about an Arthur episode?
Go ahead.
Sure.
There's this Arthur episode my sister and I love. My sister's 16, so she's a millennial too. We love this episode. Arthur's nerdy friend George, the kid with
The deer,
antlers. Yeah, the kid with the antlers. he somehow befriends this young man in like preschool. He discovers that he has Asperger's.
Oh no.
And it's like the least sensitive cartoon about Asperger's I've ever seen.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Because
key on down.
he,
Key
like,
on down.
He accidentally takes like a puzzle piece from the kid, like by accident.
No!
And he pictures the kid having this like full on like meltdown. He's like rocking back and forth, going, because he lost his puzzle piece.
They tried.
And then like he goes and he's
So
like,
insensitive.
here's your puzzle piece that I lost. And he's like cringing, like waiting for the kid to flip out, and the kid just goes, oh, thanks. And like that's the end of it. The kid does have a freak out at one point, and George like is traumatized because of it. And the mother is like the most understanding person ever. She's like, it's okay, George. Little Billy just has Asperger's.
That is so insensitive.
It's like the most insensitive.
Like the therapist in my heart is just like, ooh.
Oh, they tried to cover a topic, not unlike Colin Kaepernick,
like
but they
the-
were entirely unprepared to
Like the
cover.
one where Buster
More
spontaneously
creative,
has asthma, and he just coughs at like everything. Like, this is asthma. You can't live anymore.
And George himself has some version of ADD or ADHD. I don't know
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
what they called it at the
He's
time.
hopped up on
Mental
meth all
health
the time.
awareness.
Right? It's like the autistic Muppet they've got now on Sesame Street. Like that's a real thing, by the way.
What?
In South Africa, there's one with AIDS.
Oh, I am laughing.
That's not a joke. They're
I can't laugh right now.
children's shows.
Paralyzed.
Children's programming. It's gone a different place than what you thought it was going to go
Actually,
to.
issues like mental health and AIDS.
We're not prepared for any of those topics when we're 8.
That's why
It's
I
really
will
weird.
not fit
Like the SpongeBob character.
This is Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. 2 Millennials Talk featuring 3 Millennials. And we'll see you next week.
Like the SpongeBob character who has Ebola.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world. News Talk 1240.
I'm blowing everything up. We're starting over. I'm doing a new show. I want guys who push it to the middle of the table and go over the top. Take a risk, fail miserably. I'm right, and I'm not wrong, and I'll never back down. Conflict works. Allow it.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd, right here and everywhere. Noon Eastern.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world. News Talk 1240.
With every election, the government always gets in. You're right to be angry. We have no free market, red tape everywhere, taxes crushing. There's no level playing field. Tomorrow may be a day of reckoning. But there is something you can do. It's personal safety, personal security, shooter supply and indoor range. Find the handgun or long gun suitable to you. Take a concealed carry permit class. Use Shooter's roomy indoor private shooting range. Get expert personal advice. Shooter Supply fights boldly against big boxes. It helps people understand firearms. A free republic has become a despotism. Let them choke on their swag. For us, we invest in personal safety. In the Second Amendment, fight back, shop local. The country is in a desperate situation, but you don't have to be. Shooter Supply. Love your neighbor. Buy local. 875-4868. 875-4868. Shooters-range.com. Shop shooters-range.com. Think about the future. What about your kids?
1240 AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio with your chance to win $124 in cash and $124 in food every week with the Hot News Talk Radio 1, 2, 3 NASCAR contest. Hot News Talk 1240. All you have to do is guess who's going to be first, second, and third place in the upcoming NASCAR Sprint Cup race. If you guess it, you'll hear your name live Monday morning at 11:30. Then call AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio to win. Enter your guess right now at Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, 5301 Brady.